Functional areas in business. In this presentation we're going to look at defining and identifying the purpose of the different functional areas that exist in a business organisation. And to do that we're going to start with a little starter, a very quick quiz that hopefully you've got a pen and paper ready to have a go at actually thinking about. So let's play a little game of Guess Who. Which department do you think would be in charge of advertising in an organisation? I'll give you a clue. It actually begins with an M. So think about advertising. Which departments would be in charge of advertising that begins with an M? I'm hoping you've written down or are thinking about the term marketing. Marketing are in charge of the advertising in an organisation. Let's try another one. Which department would be in charge of managing employees in an organisation? A little clue here, if you need one. It begins with a H, the first word does, and the second word begins with an R. Hopefully you're thinking about this, and something resources, hopefully you're thinking, and I'm hoping you've got to the point of human resources. So you think about human resources, manage the employees, the people who work for you in your organisation. Let's try a third one. Hopefully you've got 2 out of 2 now. Who will be in charge of producing the product in an organisation or the service that's been offered? This is a more difficult one. They actually begin with an O normally. It's hopefully something you're thinking about. You may have to have one of these if you went into hospital. And operations department. That's a more tricky one to work out. Okay, this one should be really, really simple. Which department's in charge of paying employees in an organisation? I'm hoping I don't need to give you a clue, but if you need one, it begins with an F. And I'm sure everybody's got it. They've worked out it's finance. And lastly, which department will be in charge of building a website for an organisation? Again, should be really simple. I'm guessing you've got the IT department or ICT department. So there you are, all examples of functional areas. Hopefully you've got at least one of those correct. So you will actually have an understanding of what a functional area is. You probably just haven't actually heard that term mentioned before. So what do you think a functional area actually is? It's nothing fancy. A functional area is simply defined in my own words as a group of employees who have similar skills and they carry out a specific role within an organisation. These are people who are all trained in a certain area. So for example, if you go away and you get a degree in business and maybe get a degree in marketing, that is where your functional skills exist. So you may work in the marketing department and you will specialise in delivering that service. And by being good at that, it makes you more efficient. So thinking logically about this, if you have people who are highly trained in their area, they can do the job quicker, more effectively, and by doing that it actually means that the organisation can increase its profits and it can grow at a more effective level. Now that's one of the benefits of splitting people into different functional areas. Of course, if you think about it, it tends to work for large organisations rather than smaller organisations. Your typical sole trader will actually manage all the functional areas in the organisation because they probably can't afford to have specialists in every small area. They become multi-skilled and multi-talented in every functional area. Whereas in a large organisation like Marks & Spencer's, for example, you'll have different functional areas across the board. I want to see what you know now. So what I suggest you do, a little task, is I'd like you to make a list in a spider diagram of many different functional areas that you can think of. And if you jot them down on a piece of paper, pause the video now, and then I'll show you some of the answers that I've got. Okay, some of the examples that I've put down, some of the more obvious ones, I'm hoping you've got more than this. You should have the finance department, the marketing department, the human resources department, the production department, the customer services department, the sales department. You could have had ICT department. You could have had research and development. There are endless lists. Every organisation may have different functional areas or departments, as you may want the terminology. Okay, let's move on a little bit further now. So what I'd like you to do now, and this is going to test your understanding of this topic. It seems fairly straightforward, but it's only going to be straightforward if you can actually apply your knowledge. So I want you to pick one organisation. And what I'd like you to do is to try and complete the table that we've got on the screen now. So where you select a functional area and then you tell me what it actually does in that specific organisation. So I want you to relate it to the company you've chosen. I'm not asking you just to recall knowledge, I'm asking you to try and apply that knowledge. And that shows a higher level of skill. To get you going, I'll show you an example. Let's say I selected Marks & Spencer's and I chose my functional area of customer service. This is what I've written in my first box. In Marks & Spencer's, the customer service functional area will be responsible for keeping the customer happy and ensuring they feel like they are valued. They will deal with the customer complaints, as they doing this effectively is good for the brand image and stops negative PR. This functional area may also be responsible for training some of the staff in understanding the basics of customer service. Now, unless I've related that to Marks & Spencer's as an organisation, you've all been in a shop, you all know how important customer service is. Things don't go right the first time, every time. So it's important that when they don't go right, the shop and the brand manages that effectively. Because think about it, if one unhappy customer goes out and spreads the word, or it gets into the newspapers, you've seen the stories, that can do a lot of damage from a brand, especially in industries which are highly competitive. So what you need to do now is go and complete that table, and then show it to your teacher, or share it with a peer, have a look through it, and if you're able to apply it, then you've got a sound understanding of this topic. And I've got good faith that you understand functional areas of business. Thank you for joining me with this presentation. You should now have a better understanding of the topic area we just looked at. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, it's @BeeBusinessBee, and click the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to visit my website, beebusinessbee.co.uk, and add it to your favourites. Lots of free business resources and quizzes to help you with your business studies. Simply go to my website, create your free Business Bee account, and then you can access all my quizzes, take some of the little tests, get your score sent straight to your inbox with a lovely BeeBusinessBee certificate. And don't forget to view some of my other videos and share them with your friends.